right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever everyone is tuning in from. To start things off, what if I told you that a single person can operate at the scale of 100 people? Such an idea would be a fantasy about a decade ago. AI has transformed the world around us, but we've misunderstood it. It's not just a tool to be utilized, but a collaborator to be partnered with. Those who recognize this have an unprecedented edge in the market. My name is Tanmay Kayende, former CTO, current startup advisor, and senior enterprise architect at Google. A boilerplate before we get started. Any view presented is solely my own, not representative of any organization. That being said, my foundation of knowledge and experience is built from almost a decade as a digital transformation consultant for businesses of all sizes, from SMBs to startups to enterprise scale federal agencies. My journey with generative AI specifically began in early 2023 when I was red teaming Gen AI products. Since then, I've established AI applications, protocols, and centers of excellence at several nonprofits, and I've noticed a concerning trend. The pace of AI adoption isn't keeping up with the speed of innovation. I strongly believe that organizations can and must rapidly onboard, adopt, and scale AI. This isn't just about staying ahead of the curve. It's about equipping ourselves with the tools we need to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. So it's with this background, I invite you to reconsider your relationship with AI, not as a tool, but as a coworker you can collaborate with. We have about 30 minutes and a range of backgrounds here, so here's what we can cover. First, we'll get on the same page about AI, specifically generative AI. I'll introduce a recipe framework to help make sense of how to get the tools out there to work together. We'll talk about the future of work that will explore how restructuring your teams will lead to greater outputs. I'll share what you'll need to get started and the advantage that startups have against large tech giants. At the end, I'll recap everything. Here's a brief history lesson on how we got to generative AI. Let's start with data in the tiniest circle you see. Statistics, when applied to that data to predict what's going to happen, is that's generally considered data science. Structure that data with parameters and train an algorithm towards a defined desired result, and you're in the realm of machine learning, and this in the past has been called AI. Now we get into deeper waters with untrained data where model structures start resembling the neuron structures in our brain. This is deep learning, where we don't exactly know how answers are coming together, but the rewards and consequences guide the direction of progress, and we see novel quote unquote insights. This has also been called AI. Generative AI sends us into the deep end. This is where we have unfathomably large data sets, now up to 70 billion parameters, and by the end of the year, we can expect models nearly 6 times the size at 405 billion parameters. Gen AI lets the data find relationships and trends emerge into clusters. Basically, it's complex matching. When you input X based on the training data, the model quote unquote thinks, well, usually Y is associated with X. The feedback lets it know if it's thinking correctly, thinking. And what does it mean to have so many parameters? Well, for one, with enough information, we can now have contextual interactions with machines. Second, we've seen the signs of emergence, for example, with enough video training, OpenAI's Sora seem to have figured out how to do physics, basic physics, just from generating videos. Let's work with these kind of levels as a rough definitions for what levels of AI are, how we got here, and specifically for large language models or LLMs. We have a few major players and their LLM models. Google has Gemini, OpenAI has ChatGPT, Anthropic has Claude 3, and Meta has Llama 3. There are other ones out there like Grok and Hugging Face models, but I highlight these as the big guys to be aware of. Just the last couple of days, a lot of releases have come through. Without getting too deep into it, there's an AI arms race going on towards reaching artificial general intelligence and ultimately artificial super intelligence. We don't have enough time to go in depth on either today, so I'll put it like this. It was about 100 years between the first light bulb and the early internet. Less than 30 years after that, the first iPhone. Less than 5 years after for modern social media, and that was a decade ago. Humanity's growth and technological progress have gone from being measured in millennia to centuries to decades to years and now months. There's a quote by Edward Wilson. The real problem of humanity is the following. We have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology. This is why I want to help you better wield technology. before the Luddites neuter our potential, before the blasphemous create a new God. We who understand must lead the way. That's why I'm personally developing a solution to enable any company to be AI enabled in 4 days in 24 ways. I mean, there are millions of tools out there adding confusion amidst the chaos. So, how do we find order in order to progress? How do you sift through the noise and zero in on the right tools for the right work? This is where the recipe framework comes in. This will give you a common language to speak on how multiple tools can be used together towards a singular objective. A recipe has four components: ingredients, which are the tools you use; preparation, which is how you prime and prompt each tool to work; execution, which is where you launch the instructions for the workflow you'll follow using the prepared tools; and plating, which is delivering the solution after the instructions have been executed. Here's a few examples of recipes in increasing complexity. None of the examples, tools, or applications I'm about to show are sponsored or affiliated in any way. These are just things which I've seen as I've been in this field. Our first example is working with AI as a collaborator by using recipes to augment your role. Now, a great resource that's organizing thousands of tools out there is There's an AI for that. I have the link in the slides when you get the presentation. What you do on the site is you search up what is your role, you'll find the tasks associated to that your role is asked to accomplish, and see a list of AI tools that can assist with that. Some of these tools are paid, some are free. All of them together, though, summate to that AI impact percentage you see on the left. This is a great place to start if you're new to the space and want to see what the tech can do. Let's see a recipe that shows what's possible when everything is stitched together in a single workflow. This is an example of creating an AI influencer, marketing, sales, and customer service. If you're trying to develop these components, you should definitely take a closer look at this. Even on a personal level, imagine your own branding or as a virtual assistant designing an avatar like these. The AI avatar course is my favorite example for a more sophisticated application of using this tech available together. This course shows you how to use Midjourney to design an AI character, and I'll be going from the symbols from left to right under where it says the AI avatar course from the sailboat you see. This course shows you how to use Midjourney to design an AI character. 11 Labs is used to design its voice. The course teaches how to use ChatGPT to design the avatar's personality. DID Studio is used to then animate this avatar. And if you're posting these videos, then your avatar may be speaking a script. The captions will add subtitles. This is this is a huge leap forward in progress from where we were just a couple years ago. Let's turn it up though. What if we mixed AI products with human skill and the two collaborated on a project? Limits would be unknown to us. Eckler by Design is pushing the envelope on how to collaborate with these tools. You'll see some of the ones he used to create a 100% AI music video of C3PO after office hours. The video has consistent characters, lyrics, music, recurring settings, and more. Eckler breaks down each step in his post linked on this slide. Humor brings levity to the weight of the implications that one man can do this in a short period of time, which would have taken teams weeks of time to do. The way forward is beyond any one tool to be a silver bullet to solve all your needs. It's going to be a combination of different tools for different needs prepped and executed together in respective ways to the scale of the solution you need. This understandably also challenges the dynamics of the current way we work. How will the way we work change when AI is a collaborator in almost every aspect of our role? Before I get into this, let me be clear. I advocate for the ethical use of AI. I hope small teams use what I'm sharing to scale fast and compete with larger organizations, and I hope larger organizations use these tools to operate even bigger. AI as a collaborator opens up efficiencies on an exponential scale. And what do I mean by that? With what's available today, 10 people can operate at the scale of 1,000. I'll say it again. 10 people can operate at the scale of 1,000. With AI as a collaborator, we skip across orders of magnitude. Now, I'm about to nerd out a bit. Ready? Augmenting workflows with AI opens up leverage between the relationship of every unit of effort to unit of output. It's such a skewed relationship that the more of your manual work you can offload To AI, it actually looks like an inverse relationship, whereas effort goes to zero, productivity approaches infinity, meaning. So it means a small group of highly skilled operators, either specifically skilled for the work that cannot be offloaded, or generally skilled to validate the inputs and outputs of the work as a whole, can create outsized returns for every dollar invested in retaining them. Think of it like going from needing a battalion of enlisted troops to needing only a special operations squad. There's a time and place for each, however, these small groups of efficient operators are the future. In an interview, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman emphasized the power of small teams, saying, innovation is easier with small teams making decisive, concentrated bets who don't tolerate mediocre performers. In essence, don't cultivate. You have good people. Build a path for them to grow into these specialized teams and scale faster than you thought possible. And before anyone starts thinking, it's too late for me to learn this, or too many people are already doing this, so what chance do I have? I'll offer two perspectives. One for those new to the market, and another for those who are more experienced among you. For those of you with less than 5 years of experience, this is a golden opportunity. Industries are being reset. This is the best era to learn any topic tailored to your application and need. Learn these tools and how to use them, and the market will reward you asymmetrically. You have a choice. Be the best of many or one among few. AI will help you pave either path. For those of you with less than 15 years to retirement, this is also an opportunity. You know through and through what work needs to be done, and your experience lets you discern nuances which AI models haven't been trained on enough. Augment your experience by using AI as an amplifier of the culmination of your years of experience. Now, so far we've covered what's AI, how we got here, where we going, major players, and the rate of progress. Then we covered the recipe framework, which brings order to the chaos of tools available. We spoke on the future of team structures at work too. We now have the right cooks to be in the kitchen as we're about to start cooking. Now we can go over the enablement, the paradigm shift, and explore the startup advantage. Enablement is generally regarded as the unsexy stuff, which the better you do, the greater your success. To implement AI, look at your business and consider the following questions. Do you have workflow processes documented end-to-end, noting who does what and when? Do you have standardization across your data pipelines which measure to ensure data integrity, cleanliness, and security? Does your data have clear, defined, centralized source of truth? Do you have data specialists who partner with your business to understand and deliver insights from which your team makes decisions? Do you foster data literacy where your business discerns between vanity metrics and true KPIs? This is not to say you can't have AI implemented before you've solved these fundamental business challenges. You'll just be building on a cracked foundation. If you have any data scientists accessible to you, ask them to validate. They'll be the first to affirm that clean, standardized, structured, and documented data is a dream to work with and significantly easier to build any AI solutions for. Like we established in the beginning, when you share your data with the model and it processes the information and either generates predictions or insights, or lets you start a dialogue with your data, that information is artificial intelligence. If your data could speak, imagine the stories it would tell. Putting together multiple AI tools, however, changes the game, where when you take information, process it, augment it with prompted instructions, or convert it based on your organization's general approach, the AI part is what the tools are doing, not the automation connecting the tools. The applications of AI presented today, they're just a glimpse of what's possible. I wish we had enough time to talk about agents and coordinating swarms of agents, but that's its own rabbit hole. The idea of AI as a collaborator is seen when multiple aspects of a role, such as, let's say, a customer service agent, are woven together into what's called an agent, which can perform acts on platforms with defined use cases and abilities. Case study here. Klarna, the buy now, pay later company, is an example of where these AI agents were able to take on 75% of Klarna's customer service chats. That's about 2.3 million conversations in the first month alone. Not only were the agents faster, they had a higher CSAT, customer satisfaction score, than the 700 people it would take to do the same work. Imagine being a customer and not having to face hold times, not being passed from person to person. And the quality of the solution of your problem does not depend on the quality of the customer service rep on the other end of the line. This is what the paradigm shift from AI as a tool to AI as a collaborator looks like. There's no added value for a person to have to do manual, labor intensive, busy work. The kind of rote, well defined work is exactly the kind of work your new coworker, the AI collaborator, can take on. This frees you and your team to do higher orders of work that require more thought, is more abstract, and is undefined. In fact, you can teach your new coworker who your colleagues are, their roles and responsibilities, and share your working files across the business to better inform one singular view horizontally across the verticals of your business. This is the difference between telling a contractor what to do and asking a consultant, what should you do? Train your AI on your business and work together to make the best decisions. Stuck with a dilemma? This collaborator can round up models and frameworks to best help you arrive at a decision. This is fundamentally, a different kind of relationship with AI than we've seen until now. The advantage startups have is you move faster to market feedback than any tech giant possibly can. Startups can swing harder at giants. Davids can topple Goliaths. This space is so new and moves so fast that if approached from a place of abundance, there are continual opportunities. Trying to stay on top of the rate of progression is a Sisyphean task. You'll stay a perpetual student in a perpetual student phase where you keep learning and adopting without shipping. This space moves faster than any organization can stably move at, which means your best bet is shifting your focus from having the latest technology to focusing on your users, their pain points, and your ability to solve those pain points where they are. People progress slower than tech. So use your agility advantage that large organizations can't because they have to remain cautious and conservative to protect shareholders and hold on to their market positions, meaning they deliberately need to leave food on the table. So these opportunities that they can't take, the innovation on the vanguard is available for you to seize. We've covered quite a bit. Firstly, I'll share what generative AI is. I shared what generative AI is and how it's become extremely advanced recently. Then I introduced the recipe framework as a way to combine different AI tools to create powerful solutions for your business needs. Importantly, I stressed that we should start thinking of AI not just as a tool, but as a coworker that can collaborate with us. I described how in the future, small teams of skilled people using AI coworkers can accomplish more than huge teams could before. This gives startups a big opportunity to outperform even giant companies. As a startup, you have an edge because you can rapidly bring in new AI capabilities without dealing with legacy systems and mindsets. But you need to prepare. Get your data organized, document your processes, and build AI skills within your team. With the right approach, any startup can become AI powered as a business within just a few days, not years. But it's not just implementation. You got to commit fully to truly working side by side with AI strategically. Those who resist this partnership with AI are going to lose out to those who don't. And those who embrace human AI collaboration, they're the ones who are going to lead the future. Take what you've learned today, drive this transformation in your companies, be the pioneers who usher in this new age of humans and machines working together as a unified force. The opportunity of AI collaborators is here now. Seize it, and your potential is limitless. Happy to connect and discuss further. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much, Tanmay. How are you? It's very interesting that how you phrase things and so it's going to be very interesting overall. How you phrase it and how you put things and how you really put the value of the AI and what's been happening in the last 18 months to the industry. It's very, very important. So what do you think that next 24 months is going to show to us in the industry? What is the big changes going to happen?
I will say the rate of progress we've seen until now, we haven't seen anything yet. Everything up till now, it's been like a snowball at the top of the hill. We're
Yeah.
about to see it start getting bigger. The momentum is building, things are moving faster. Tools that didn't exist before now are being compounded. So the leaps of progress that were being made, the shift that happened in early 2023 are going to seem like such, the seismic shifts that we felt are going to be nothing compared to the kind of shifts that are coming up, the applications that people are putting together, the kind of things that we're going to start, especially as everything approaches mass market. The comfort with this technology is going to open up a lot of creativity for what other problems can we use this technology to solve.
Great. And you're based out of New York. So, what do you see in a tough world of finance and things like that in New York?
Well, there's definitely early adoption there. A lot of what's happening in the fintech industry is they've been pulling in these tools to start helping them with their work, especially without getting too deep into the technicals. It's not just LLMs that was the main focus of today's presentations, but other kinds of generative models, image gen, large action models. There's a lot of ways which this is being used, not just in the tech industry, but also in the fintech industry. So there's a lot of growth happening over there.
Great. Um, there's a question up there. Say how Anton is asking, how can the integration of AI, particularly with the emergence of Gen AI, enhance team dynamics and productivity? And what specific advantages do startups have in leveraging AI within their operations and teams?
I would say it is massive. Internal operations is often, unfortunately, neglected because, rightfully so, companies are more focused on improving how they sell and then improving the customer service to retain anyone that you sell to. Internal operations usually get that third place priority. However, consider all the meetings which you attend. How well do you know exactly what happened in them, all the actions that were needed to be taken, who said what were the action items, and then actually taking action on those items? Where I see Gen AI going, at least in the near future, is all of those kind of internal operations. Here's the coworkers you work with. In the last talk, there was a mention of digital twins. I think we might see digital twins of employees themselves. Of now, there's a version of you that's able to work with other virtual versions of your coworkers to get things done. So that way, when you check back in, work has been done while you were working on other things.
Yeah,
This is, it's getting in the realms of sci-fi at this point, but it's very cool where the progress is going.
yeah. So great. So from I mean, this is a great concept about having the digital version of you, digital twin of you, and be able to know the knowledge and leverage that, and that's a big power. And definitely, I think the AI and generative AI is going to make accelerate the startup business. I think one of the things that I see, obviously, big advantage of startups, they don't have the legacy. They don't have to worry about type of people that trying to keep the status quo. So that brings them a big advantage, definitely out there.
And I would say one other thing is Gen AI is amazing at creating documentation. There's a few software tools. There's an AI for that, has a couple of these that can record click by click exactly what you're doing when you're walking through how you do your job and grab the screenshot and then document, here's what you have done. So then you can create documentation for onboarding new teams. Here's where you can create documentation for just information of how you do things. And then all of these documents stored in some sort of repository can be connected also to Gen AI, where then you can now chat across your company's knowledge base of how do we do certain things, or where can I find information on this, creating your own internally generated help articles for your internal operations.
Yes. Thank you very much, Tamay, and to hearing more from you. And I'm glad and